God knows something about you, something no one else truly understands. Not your friends, not your family, not even the people who are closest to you every single day. There are parts of your life that you keep hidden, not because you want to lie, but because you don't know how to explain what you feel. There are emotions inside you that don't have words. There are thoughts that pass through your mind that you don't even feel comfortable saying out loud. And still, God knows. He sees what you try to hide. He understands what you don't say. He feels what you carry in silence. And maybe right now, you didn't even plan to be here. Maybe you were just scrolling. Maybe you were just looking for something to distract your mind. Maybe you didn't even realize how heavy your heart feels until this moment. But somehow, you stopped. Out of everything you could be watching right now, out of everything competing for your attention, you are here, listening to this message. And that is not a coincidence. There is a reason why you are here. There is a reason why this message found you at this exact moment in your life. Because God knows exactly what you're going through right now. He knows the pressure you've been feeling. He knows the confusion you've been dealing with. He knows the questions that keep repeating inside your mind. He knows the moments where you felt like giving up, even if you didn't actually give up. He knows the times you smiled just to hide what you were feeling inside. He knows the weight you carry when no one is watching. And even if it feels like no one sees you, even if it feels like no one understands, God does. He always did. And He always will. There were nights you couldn't sleep. Nights where your body was tired, but your mind just wouldn't stop. You kept thinking about everything at once, your past, your present, your future. You thought about mistakes you made. You thought about things you wish you could change. You thought about things you're afraid might happen. And no matter how much you tried to calm your mind, it just kept going. Maybe you stared at the ceiling for hours. Maybe you picked up your phone, not because you wanted to, but because you didn't want to feel what was inside you. Maybe you tried to distract yourself, to escape your own thoughts, just for a moment of peace. But even in those moments, God was there. Even when you felt alone, you were not alone. Even when you felt forgotten, you were not forgotten. God saw every tear, even the ones that never fell. He saw the pain you tried to hide. He saw the moments where you felt like you couldn't take it anymore. He heard every silent prayer, even the ones you didn't say out loud. Even the ones that were just thoughts, or feelings, or a quiet cry inside your heart. Nothing was ignored. Nothing was wasted. And even when it felt like nothing was changing, something was happening. Because sometimes, the biggest changes don't happen on the outside first. They start inside. Even when it felt like nothing was moving, God was working. Behind the scenes, in ways you couldn't see, in ways you couldn't understand at the time. There were things being aligned. There were situations being prepared. There were moments being shaped, even when you thought everything was falling apart. What feels like delay is not denial. It's preparation. God is not ignoring you. God is not forgetting you. God is not late. He is working in a timing that you may not understand yet. But one day, you will look back and realize that everything had a purpose. Even the pain, even the waiting, even the uncertainty. Because sometimes the waiting is where you grow. Sometimes the silence is where you become stronger. Sometimes the delay is what protects you from something you're not ready for yet. And right now, even if you don't see it, something is shifting. Something is changing. Something is moving in your life. Maybe not in the way you expected. Maybe not in the time you wanted. But it is happening. There is something you need to understand. Something that can change the way you see everything you're going through right now. Not everything that feels like a setback is actually a setback. Not everything that feels like loss is truly a loss. Sometimes what feels like something is being taken away from you is actually something being removed to make space for something better. There are moments in life where things don't go the way you planned. Doors close. Plans change. People leave. Situations fall apart. And in those moments, it's easy to think that something went wrong. It's easy to believe that you lost something important. It's easy to feel like you're being pushed backwards. But what if you're not going backwards? What if you're being redirected? What if God is moving you away from something that was never meant to stay? Because sometimes we hold on to things that are not meant to grow with us. We try to keep people, situations, and paths that no longer align with where we're going. And when those things start to fall apart, it feels like everything is collapsing. But in reality, something is being corrected. Something is being realigned. Something is being repositioned. And even though it hurts, even though it's uncomfortable, even though it doesn't make sense right now, it has a purpose. There is a reason behind it. There is a direction behind it. And even when you don't understand it, God does. He sees the full picture. He sees where you are and where you're going. He sees what you've been through and what's ahead of you. And He knows what needs to stay and what needs to go. Even if you don't, and maybe that's the hardest part, trusting when you don't understand, believing when you don't see, continuing when you feel tired. But that's where faith grows. Not when everything is clear, but when everything feels uncertain. Not when everything is easy, but when everything feels heavy. Faith is not about having all the answers. Faith is about moving forward even when you don't. And right now, you're stronger than you think. Even if you don't feel strong, even if you feel tired, even if you feel like you're just trying to make it through the day, the fact that you're still here, the fact that you're still trying, the fact that you haven't given up, that already says a lot about you. You've made it through things that you once thought you wouldn't survive. You've faced moments that felt impossible. And somehow, you kept going. And you're still going. And that matters more than you realize. Because every step you take, even the small ones, they are moving you forward. Even when it feels slow, even when it feels like nothing is happening, something is happening. Growth is happening. Strength is being built. And your story is still being written. So don't rush the process. Don't compare your path to anyone else's. Don't feel like you're behind. You are exactly where you need to be in this moment. Learning what you need to learn. Growing in the way you need to grow. Becoming who you're meant to become. Even if you don't see it yet. Even if it doesn't feel like it. There is progress. There is movement. There is purpose. And one day, you're going to look back at this moment and you're going to understand. You're going to see why things happened the way they did. You're going to see why certain doors closed. You're going to see why certain paths changed. And you're going to realize that nothing was random. Nothing was wasted. Everything had a reason. Everything had a purpose. And everything was leading you exactly where you needed to be. So take a moment right now. Breathe. Slow down your thoughts. You don't need to have everything figured out today. You don't need to carry everything alone. God is here, right now, in this exact moment, not in the future, not later, not someday. Now, He sees you. He understands you. He knows what you need even before you ask. So let go even if just a little. Let go of the pressure. Let go of the fear. Let go of the need to control everything. You are not alone. You were never alone. And you will never be alone. God is still working in your life. Even now. Even in silence. Even in the waiting. And maybe this moment right now is the beginning of something new, something different, something better. So don't leave yet. Stay here. Let this message sink in. Let this moment matter. Because God still knows something about you, something no one else knows. And He's not finished with your story.